What would you do if a family member, who was relying on your generosity, completely disrespected you and destroyed your property? In today's story, the protagonist's choice is a masterclass in how to handle it. As a 31-year-old living alone with my two beloved golden retrievers and a pair of birds that had been with me for a year, my house often felt a bit empty despite the lively animal companions. That changed when my 21-year-old cousin, Leo, found himself without a place to stay after getting kicked out of his college dorm and having no job to cover rent. My parents, always quick to remind me of my responsibilities as the homeowner in the family, insisted I step up and help him. I agreed, hoping for the best, but deep down, a sense of unease lingered. From the moment Leo moved in, it was clear we had different ideas about what constituted family. He'd constantly mock me for referring to my pets as family, scoffing and calling me crazy. His sense of humor was, to put it mildly, abrasive. He'd often come up with various nicknames for me: Robot, Terminator, Optimus Prime, all because of the prosthetic leg I'd been using since an infection 2 years prior. I tried to be patient, enduring his messy habits and the mountain of unwashed laundry that seemed to grow daily. 3 months of this was already testing my limits, and I felt a storm brewing. Then came the pranks. He started using my personal belongings, my clothes, my phone, kitchen items. I usually take off my prosthesis before bed. I work long hours, so I'm usually asleep much earlier than Leo, who stays up until 3 or 4 a.m. One morning, I woke up, groggy and ready to start my day, only to find my prosthesis missing. This wasn't the first time. He'd pulled this twice before, hiding it in his room and even the garage. My patience, already stretched thin, finally snapped. "Where did you put it?" I demanded, my voice tight with suppressed fury. Leo, ever the comedian, simply joked that it was in the fridge. A cold wave of anger washed over me, chilling me to the bone. I started screaming at him, the words tumbling out. "Stop it. Tell me where my prosthesis is before I kick you out." He finally realized I was serious. The easy grin vanished from his face, replaced by a flicker of genuine concern. "It's in the attic," he mumbled. I sent him to retrieve it, my heart pounding with a mix of dread and fury. When he returned, his face was pale, and he looked genuinely worried, profusely apologizing. My gaze immediately fell to my prosthesis, and my stomach dropped. The socket had visible cracks, and the adjustment pyramid and pylon were clearly damaged. He explained, "I hid it under the old TV. I didn't think it was this fragile." The damage, however, was done. It had been there all night, enduring whatever pressure or impact had caused the cracks. "I lost it. It was just a prank, bro," he kept repeating, as I yelled at him, his empty apologies only fueling my rage. The casual dismissal of the severe damage to my essential mobility aid, followed by such a flippant phrase, made the situation even worse. I told him to leave, to get out of my house immediately. My next call was to my aunt, Leo's mother. I explained everything, the disrespect, the damaged prosthesis, and demanded she take responsibility for her son's actions and pay for the damages. Her reaction was utterly shocking. She blamed me. She said it was my fault for taking him in, knowing how her son is, and flat out refused to take responsibility. This reveals her greatest fatal flaw, her enablement of her son's destructive behavior, which ultimately sealed his fate. The unfairness of it all was overwhelming. "I'll seriously sue," I told her, the words coming out sharp and bitter. I was broke, completely unable to afford a new prosthesis, and the thought of relying on crutches was unbearable. My anger, a raw, burning sensation, made me lash out at everyone. My parents, especially, became the targets of my frustration. They argued with me, insisting I couldn't sue family, that Leo was my cousin, and he meant no harm. He created this situation, and he needs to fix it. I retorted, my voice hoarse from shouting. They called me awful for refusing to wait until after Christmas and the family gathering, claiming they'd figure something out then. I told them to stay out of it, but they continued to pressure me, worried that suing my cousin would make them look bad during the holidays. I was stuck, relying on crutches, feeling utterly miserable as they all tried to silence me, telling me to wait, promising to raise money for me after the holidays, while Leo would seemingly get away with it. My dad even had the audacity to offer to fix it himself, as if it were a broken CD player or TV. I called him ridiculous to his face and wouldn't let him near it. It was clear he didn't grasp the severity of the situation. I stopped taking his calls after that. As one Reddit user, deadgirltalking_13, aptly put it, dude, you've got to have your leg. FFS. Your family need to replace it immediately. Expecting you to use crutches till after the holidays to save Christmas or whatever is abusive nonsense. Another user, QueenMom2319, wisely added, NTA, your family is enabling your cousin to be an AH. He's 21, past time to get a job and start being responsible for himself. This entire ordeal solidified a vital lesson: family ties do not excuse destructive behavior. When boundaries are crossed and personal well-being is jeopardized, sometimes the only way to ensure accountability is to seek legal recourse, regardless of familial pressure. What would you do if your family tried to pressure you into forgiving a severe transgression, all for the sake of appearances?